Welcome, everybody. We are here today to talk about a Divi 101. We're going to go back to the very basics, and I'm going to try to cover some what is Divi, what is WordPress, on through what are some of the more useful modules for you to get to know. We will follow up later this month with how to create a page where you can experiment with some Divi modules on your own without messing with a public page. But the point of today is to really help you orient to finding how to fix things that already exist on your website, figure out some of that terminology. If you see a module or an area on your website that has wrong information and needs to be updated, this might give you some of the tips that it takes to get there, get into it, and understand how to fix it. This is very high level. There's a lot of detail involved underneath all of this. Don't feel like you're going to walk out of here knowing Divi inside and out. That takes years and years. But this is also really good if you've been working with Divi to kind of go back, maybe get some of those concepts to really click in. So the Divi theme and some of the changes that have come in the last few years will also be coming in here. And this will tie into some of the bigger and better things that are coming. So let's go ahead and get started. Our objectives for today are to understand the role of Divi as a WordPress theme and how Divi brings in additional features and functionality that are different than what a standard WordPress theme would do. So which is why we at Lean Wisconsin use it. We want to walk out of here understanding the modular nature of the Divi builder, how pages relate to sections, relate to rows and columns and modules, and how Divi is very box-like in its structure on the back end. And that leads into understanding the Divi visual builder, which we may refer to as the front end builder, or versus the Divi wireframe or the back end builder, which is you're not going to see the content of your modules and your sections and your rows. You're going to see the underlying skeletal structure of the web page. We're going to do something that we haven't done before, which is to introduce and really look at standard menu and menu items in Divi sections, rows, and modules. I think one of the things that really got me at the beginning was I knew that there were menu items that I could adjust, but I often couldn't figure out where they were or what they were really doing when I made changes to them. We are not going to go in depth on all of the things that are in the Divi menus, and not all the Divi menus, even though they're generic, they don't always apply super well to every single module, section, row, et cetera, but they're there. So we're going to at least look at like how that menu is structured and some of the key things that you can look for in those areas. And then we're also going to, at the very end, look at essential and a few of the more advanced Divi modules that we use to begin building and revising. This is obviously, there's a lot of functionality within these modules, so we are not going to cover all of it today, but to break it down for you to see kind of how the modules are laid out and how you would access them. So to start with, let's talk about how Divi is different than a standard WordPress theme and what it even means to be a WordPress theme. For those of you that have done a website 101 with me, I think most people here have been exposed to my explanation of Divi versus WordPress and WordPress as a whole. So I'm going to do my 30-second overview of WordPress and then Divi. WordPress is what they call a content management system, a CMS. It is literally a way of managing content for your website. WordPress itself interacts with the back end, the part that we don't work with ourselves here, the actual functional code that your website is built on. WordPress interacts with PHP and function modules and all of the CSS. That's what the function of it is. But the analogy that I like to use when I am introducing somebody to WordPress for the first time is WordPress is like your desk when you arrive at work on the first day of work. You have a tabletop with 4 legs, probably a chair, maybe a computer, a monitor, a mouse. It is the very, very base table that you need to manage all of the things that you are going to be doing in your work day. So you acquire all of this content and it is managed through WordPress. WordPress is this dashboard that you see here, which mainly for us is everything that is on this black menu on the left-hand side. WordPress comes natively with posts, media, pages, comments, appearance, plugins, users, settings. These things are generic to WordPress. But to make WordPress work, you need to have a theme. WordPress doesn't look like anything. It's a gray blank tabletop. You need to have a theme or something that gives structure, some structure, but mostly color and shape. And it really is your personality. So then my analogy to that is when you bring in your family photos and your potted plant or your whatever it is that you bring to your desk to make it yours and really make your space your own. But that's all a generic WordPress theme is. So if I were to come into appearance and themes and then let this load, you would see a space where I can add different themes to our website. And we actually have a generic theme called 2025, which is the very, very generic WordPress theme. Every year they put it out. And you see it has a little bit of color and a little bit of design to it. But this one's nothing special. That said, other themes will bring in more color, more structure, but they don't have a lot of function. So what Divi is a theme. Yes, it has a lot of color and shape and palettes and layout designs in it. But what it also has is it has a drag and drop builder built into it. It has ways of making rows and columns for organizing the content. It has modules that provide ways of displaying information in a variety of different ways. We are most very familiar with images, but also a blog post slider, code modules, all of these things that basically in the very end reduce our reliance on individual website plugins to get our work done. And plugins, if you've also heard me lecture, are the things that we add on to our website when the theme and WordPress don't natively have it, but they're also a source of both functionality risk and security risk. If somebody's not maintaining a plugin, it can break. If somebody gets hacked with a plugin, it can break. So in this way, Divi is covering a lot of our functionality all under one hood, one update, one management, without having to go out and farm a whole bunch of plugins to make our websites work. So that's the basic difference between WordPress, a WordPress theme, and Divi. Divi is a theme on steroids. It has a lot of functionality that we use on a daily basis. So let's get into some of how that works in actual website language. Divi is very modular. It is a builder that uses structure, the square structure, and an embedded square structure to get the work done. I sometimes liken it to Legos, building with Legos. The difference here is that you're actually putting boxes within boxes rather than putting boxes on top of boxes. But Divi is also coded in colors. And so we'll take a look at this live in action in a second. But this is what you'll be looking at is a nested nature of this. When we go into the back end, a Divi page is purple. And it will pop up on your screen as the big box that contains all of the information on a web page. So if you go to your home page on your website, you have one big purple page. Within that purple page, you can have multiple sections. So sections are blue in Divi, and they are containers that you can use to structure different things. A section contains one or more horizontal rows. And we work a lot with rows. And inside those rows are multiple columns. We don't think about the columns a lot, but the column structure is really where we start getting into the magic of the layout and the design of Divi. In this example, our columns are divided into thirds. You've got the yellowish, brownish columns broken into thirds. So we have equal third columns here. And they are, so this is where Divi starts going horizontally rather than that vertical building. So a page contains multiple vertical sections, which contains one or more vertical rows. So a section contains vertical rows, and then horizontally organized columns, which then goes back to inside of a column, you have the vertically stacked modules. So you can add as many modules vertically within a column, and then the column controls how those appear horizontally. So if you think in boxes, you'll have a lot more fun with Divi. This screenshot on this side shows an example of, you can have a section, and this is the old Divi, but I do like the screenshot. Now Divi is tipped, so the blue actually runs across the top and the green runs across the top. In the old Divi, they had it broken down this way. But it's good for visualizing right here. So here you see you have one large section, and it contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different row examples. The rows are different because they have multiple different types of columns. So the one on top is a single column. It has one long image module all the way across it. The second one is divided into equal halves. So you have 1/2 column, 1/2 column with images. This is like our example over here on the left. This example on the right here is divided into 3 third division columns. You have 1/4. Here you have an example where you can choose a column structure where it's 2/3 long and 1/3, 2/3 and 1/3. And then you have a 3/4 and 1/4. And you also have the option to put the 1/4 over here and the 3/4 on the opposite side. And you have some also options where you can put the larger section in the middle. So this is where Divi gives us that breakdown on the back end view of this. Before I go back to our website, I do want to talk about the front end builder versus the back end builder. So what you see here is the backend builder, and here's the next example of the backend builder. This is the modern Divi, the one we're used to seeing now, where the section is at top and it contains the multiple rows down here. And in this is the back end where you see the modules, but you don't see any of the content. And you also don't see how the content affects the height. Divi only controls the width of our page. And so we've broken it into thirds across here, but it is entirely possible to have an image that is long and skinny, or content that is long and skinny, and then 2 small boxes, but you are not going to see that on the backend builder. You are only going to see the basic skeleton. But here's a nice side-by-side of, now you can see a row that contains 3 images, and that is actually here over on the visual side, where you have 3 images across in the top section above. Now we have another section, and there is a divider that goes all the way across. So in here's our invisible section, and our blue divider goes all the way across. And then we have our teen program and events is one big, large image, and then another border image beneath it. And now, oops, I want to scroll like it's a website. Can't do that. Here we have a row with the 2/3 and 1/3. So we have 2/3 over on the right-hand side and a 1/3 image. So here's a 1/3 image and the 2/3 text and information on that. So how it relates on the front end and back end is very important for how we build our websites. So this is what we were looking at. We were looking at the wireframe, or the back end view, which is just the skeleton. You can really see that nested structure. You see how the sections and rows and columns all fit into each other. You can easily make a change to that column structure or reorganize large chunks of your page on the back end builder. And you can easily access specific modules there. The other thing that you have on the back-end builder that you do not have as easily, that you don't have access to on the front-end visual builder, is that you can get to the publish options and the page attributes, which are the WordPress functions of the website. And I'll show you that in a second. And you can easily use the admin labels for identifying module types. But note, it does not display the height of the content of a module. The visual or front-end builder, again, this would look more like this, but we're going to look at a front-end builder in a second. You would actually preview the page as it is seen by the website visitors, plus content that is set intentionally to be invisible to viewers. You can easily identify the content that is located within a module, and you can understand how the content is going to relate to the rest of the content and display vertically. There are pluses and minuses to both. It is a little more tricky to access and to manipulate large chunks of information on the front end versus how it is laid out in the back end. So let's go in and take a look at this on a page. So here is a wireframe view of a page we actually did the Clark County Passport last summer, and I designed a page for the Clark County Passport, or Clark County Libraries, to have their passport information. You see up above here, you have the purple page layout with, in this case, it's a blue section. And then we have 1, 2, 3 rows within this section. And then we have another section down below with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows at the bottom. What I was very careful to do in this was to use the admin label function on my page to help identify the content on the back end. Because I can't see what is actually in these modules or even what type of module it is, I chose to go ahead and label them. You can change the names on any of these things. The default is to say section, row, or if I click on something and I add something, it is going to just say what kind of module it is. It'll say it's an accordion, but you don't know what the content is. So I prefer, when I build on the back end, is like I put Clark County Passport Program H1, which to me says is a heading 1. It's the top of the page. It's got the Clark County, and it probably says Clark County Passport Program. Actually, the heading here is Adventure Begins at your Clark County Libraries. But then I know that that's the Passport Program heading. So to edit any of these, you would click on this gear icon, and we are going to go into this menu in a second. Every single thing in Divi has the ability to be edited, except for columns. Columns are a little bit different. They can be edited, but they have to be edited within a row. But everyone pops up with this menu, and we're going to take a menu in a second. If you click on the gear icon within the blue, the green, or the black. The green is where our column structure is managed. And you can either click on this row settings gear icon to open it up, and we see our column structure. And then you have a drop down, and this is where I was talking about. We have our full length module, or full length single module all the way across. We have our half, we have our thirds, we have our quarters, we have fifths, we have sixths. And then we start getting into different combinations of types of modules. So you could have a half module and 3/3 on the other chunk. So the other way you can change your row settings is to click on the change column structures. And now you have more of a maybe a slightly better visual layout. If I wanted this whole section to be arranged differently, all I have to do is click on it. And now I have the content divided into halves. And I could click and drag and drop these things around. But again, I don't know what I'm moving. I can only just see the black modules. I'm not seeing what the content is that I am actually moving around. There's 2 different ways to actually see that content. I'm going to put that back. To see the content, I can either click build on the front end, or I can come over here to where it says desktop view, tablet view, or phone view. So if I wanted to still have access to these WordPress controls over here, I can click on the desktop view, and now I have a combination of the visual builder and some of the other, but I have easy access back to the wireframe view as well. And again, I can do that with a phone, and I can do that with a tablet. So this is a quick and easy way to click between different views to see how these would look on different format screens. So we have, and again here, now as I hover over it, this is where I can start seeing the breakdowns on the visual side, where I still have my big purple box on the desktop view within the backend builder. But as I hover over here, I get the blue section box to pop up. But once I go away, the blue box goes away. And then I have the green row. And as I hover over the black modules, the information for each of those modules pops up. But sometimes it's really tricky like this. It doesn't want to pop up one of these items that I want to be able to edit. So if I wanted to change that image, I either just need to double click on it to pop up the image settings box, or I need to go back out and find my passport banner image and click on the gear icon there to edit. If I wanted to fully build on the front end, I click build on the front end, and this is going to bring me to the front of my website as it loads. And I will get the full front end builder experience. So as this spins, now I can see my header, which I wasn't seeing before. The header is in a global location, so it doesn't show up on each individual page. But now I can see what the page looks like with the header. And I can scroll through and see how my content, again, that modular boxing, how that is all laying out here. If I want my controls down here, I have to click on the purple in the bottom. And then actually over here, I still have the option for seeing the wireframe view, the desktop view, the tablet view, and the phone view. A couple of other things to take note of here as I scroll down. You'll see the divider is here, and I have the different Clark County libraries in modules here. I could have just stacked these on top of each other, and I'm going to go back to my wireframe backend editor. I'm going to look at this section down here where I have multiple rows, but they're all Clark County libraries. And I named the section Clark County Libraries, so I would know what's down beneath here. And I have a divider, and then I have a heading. And actually, I should come in here for myself. This was a heading 2. So I'm going to go back to content, and I'm going to click on this admin label. And for myself, I'm going to put an H2 there so that I remember that I had a second level heading at the top of this one. Now, I chose blurb modules, which we'll talk about in a minute, to display a picture and the address and the website of each of these libraries. Why did I create 6 different rows when I could have just stacked all of these modules vertically within each of these? And we'll take a quick look at this. So if I were to make this change, and instead of using 6 different rows, and I just make 6 different blurbs on top of each other because they're all equally spaced, let's go ahead and see what this looks like. Give me just a second here. Now I'm going to scroll down. Because I had pictures that were slightly different sizes, and some of these had addresses that maybe were a little bit like this one, I have the Colby Community Library, and then there's a Colby, I don't know why I did that, but the Colby Community Library has a header down here too. They start to stagger, and they start to not line up cleanly at the top. And after a little while, you would end up with one row being out of sync with the other row. And I really wanted that nice, clean, like reading across from the Greenwood Area Library right over to the Loyal Public Library, all in one line. Because Divi does not care about the vertical at all, it will put as much content as you want in there, and then it will leave a big gap on the other side. I chose to create separate rows so that each one of these modules would line up. And I'm actually going to, oh, I did not mean to do that. I am actually going to want to edit this one. Enable Visual Builder, please. There, edit page. And so by putting them into separate rows, they will all line up on that same line. And then I had a title of Abbotsford Public Library there. But by moving them down, I will have these all lined up in the same line, top to bottom. At the top, they're aligned top, so even if they're slightly off at the bottom, it doesn't matter because the next row will be aligned with itself. View page. So the major part of the Divi builder here is to be able to come into your page and make a change if you needed to at this point. But notice these now are all lined up across from each other. So the Dorchester Public Library is in line with the Granton Community Library. Greenwood is in line with Loyal, and Neilsville is in line with Owen, even though the picture sizes aren't quite the same. That way I didn't have to worry about cropping down the pictures and making sure that they're all exactly the same proportion and size. Sometimes you just got to get work done. Okay. So let's talk about settings and menus. So within the Divi section rows and modules settings, we have some very consistent menus across all of the different things that you click on. So when you click on that gear icon, you have a menu pop up, and they are all going to look the same. No matter where you have a gear icon, you are going to get settings, and you are going to get content, design, and advanced. So you have 3 tabs across, and you are going to have certain content or certain menu items in each of these sections. Depending on the module or the item itself, you may have more or less, but you should almost always have these default items. In this one, and you will have some additional settings. And then additionally, if you have the Divi Supreme Pro, you'll have some other additional settings. So we'll talk about that too. But plugins can add some functionality to this. So let's look at the Divi content, which is your first menu tab there. The content will almost always, in fact, I think I can guarantee always have a link, an option for a background, and the admin label. Again, the admin label is something that you can change. It'll show up with a name on the back end, and it will not appear on the front end to anybody there. But that way, when you're in the back end builder, you know what the content is of that row, section, module, anything that you have named. So you can make that admin label here, or you can edit it on that backend wireframe builder. You can add a link to basically everything in Divi. This is a good thing and a bad thing. You can make an entire section clickable and link out to something. You can make any element within Divi. You could make a divider. You could make anything have a link that you can click on to go somewhere. I understand why they did it, because it's there. Why not have it as an option? But for accessibility, it isn't an amazing thing to just make anything a clickable link. When you do make something clickable, you really, for accessibility, should be adding a custom role attribute plus an ARIA label if the link is opening in a new window or tab, and tab index, so that when somebody is keyboarding through their through your website, it will stop at that point and they can click enter to open that link. For that, there's website accessibility training on that. For Divi 101, just know that adding links to things, I recommend not doing it willy-nilly, but be very conscious about which items you're adding links to, so that when we are coming back through and adding accessibility tools, we know where to find that link to make sure that it is updated. You can add a background to just about everything. Again, do this with caution. It can start to look silly when you have backgrounds just appearing out of nowhere. But you can add a background to an entire section. That way, anything in that entire area is going to have that. Just also keep in mind contrast and that readability, so that if you're putting a very dark background and you're using gray text, those things might not pop. So you have to, again, look at the accessibility training and look at contrast. But you can add background to basically everything. Oops. And then again, that admin label. Now the design settings. So content will also include in individual modules things like images and text. The design settings are basically the same for almost everything, unless you have some additional content that you are needing to add design to. But and under content or under design, the items that we're most likely going to be using is spacing. This is where you're adding padding around an item or margins outside to give it more space or less space. A border, you may be putting a border around something, or you may be putting a box shadow. These other ones, sizing, dividers, filters, transform, animation, unless you really have a very specific intent, I generally do not play with these. Messing with sizing, for example, isn't always going to work when you're changing between desktop, tablet, and phone. It can really throw things off. So I usually work generally just in the spacing area, adding borders and box shadows. And finally, the Advanced tab. If you are in the Advanced tab, you're probably doing one of three specific things. One is that you are creating anchor links, and there is another training on this, but this is where you would come in under the CSS ID and classes, where you would create your anchor links, so that when you click on one thing on a web page, it jumps you to the same place, to another place on a web page. So a jump link or an anchor link, so that you if you can't create a new page and you're not navigating out to a new page, but you're navigating within a page, that's where you would make that change. The next one you're going to be using is visibility. This is where you might make a module that is not visible on a phone or a tablet, but only on the desktop. If you're creating if you're designing for both a phone or tablet and desktop views, separate views. And if you were with us last month and you learned about the Divi Supreme Pro scheduled elements, this is where you find this is where you would find the menu for the scheduled element visibility. And finally, the other training that we just did was on the custom attributes. This is again a Divi Supreme Pro feature. If you have the Divi Supreme Pro installed and the custom attributes activated, this is where you would come in to do what I was talking about, where a role equals button, ARIA labels, tab index. These are all things to make your website work better with assistive technology. So let's take a look at those modules in or some of that live. Let me go back to my edit page. And this loads. Again, if you click on section, you're going to see content design advanced. If you click on your row, you have content design advanced, but under row, now we have the column structure in addition to the link, background, and admin label. And then when we come down to our individual different modules that have different functions, you will see now when I click on here, the heading, because it has a text element, has under content, it gives you a place to put that text content, but you still have that link, background, and admin label. And again, the same. And then under design, now in addition, you have text and heading text, plus sizing, spacing, border, and all the other things we would expect to see. For the image, the passport banner is an image. When we click on this, now we have a place where we can insert our image, but again, link, background, and admin label. Under design, now we have an alignment, whether we want that image to be centered or off to one side or another. This happens to be an entire, the entire width of the row, so it doesn't matter whether it's right or left or centered aligned. Then you have your sizing, spacing, border, and again, the border, the box shadow, and the spacing. Like we could add a box shadow around this one just to jazz it up a little bit. It gives you some options where you can decide how much of a shadow do you really want, what do you want your shadow color to be. And then when you save those, you'll see that design change on here. So if we come in here, design, and we choose that box shadow. And let's do something kind of drastic. There you see that there's a drop shadow there, or maybe I want an intense, more boxy drop shadow, and I want it to be a blue shadow. Something that might make it stand out a little bit more. And then the border, again, if you're going to add a border, your border width is where you actually add the border. And so now I'm adding a dark black border, and I can round the corners on it. These are all the generic options that are in basically any setting, in any menu on any item, where you can add drop shadows to text boxes, to even to a divider. And again, you have your advanced, and if we were doing jump links, this is where we would have our, and we could do a whole session on, like, maybe I wanted to add jump links to get down to each individual library, list them at the top, and then you could jump down to find the address to each library. Visibility, you have your phone, tablet, desktop. If you have, in the case of Divi Supreme Pro, you have the scheduled element option to schedule when this element would actually show up on your web page, and then custom attributes, which again is all about accessibility, and we've had a separate training on that. So these are the same menu options in each type of Divi editable area. They vary slightly depending on what the different modules that you're using are. Okay. So let's talk about Divi modules. So again, we've got our section, we've got our page, our sections, our rows, and now we're going to start adding our actual content. And we have different ways of displaying different types of content on our website. And Divi has broken those down into different types of modules. When you go to your page and you click on the a black plus up here, and it will come up with a menu to insert a module. And there is an alphabetical list of a variety of different modules. Note here that anything that is in this dark purple color, this is part of the Divi Supreme Pro family. If you have Divi Supreme Pro installed on your website, because you're a Lean Wisconsin website and it's fully licensed, and you have gone in, you need to activate each one of these modules. And we will have another session on that in the future. But for now, focusing on just what the basic modules that come with Divi, you have anything that is just the gray with the blue text is the default that comes with Divi itself. The types of modules that what we are trying to do with modules is we are displaying things like text, we are displaying images, we may display an icon, which may be a pre-programmed item. We have dividers for dividing up sections of information. We have code modules, which allow us to display information that is auto-feeding or auto-updated from content from somewhere else. calendars. Talkify calendar is a big example of this, where you update your calendar in one place and it automatically displays elsewhere on your website. You may display videos using a module, or you may have navigation elements. They are displayed alphabetically by name, and you can also type when you start doing it. If you know you want a blurb module, you can start typing blurb, and it will narrow down this long list of modules for you. Oops, that's what I have to do. So let's talk about some basic Divi modules by the type of content that you are displaying. If you are displaying text on your website in the most basic form, you have the Divi text box. So again, you go up to that insert module, and then there is a little search bar here. You know you want a text module, you can type in text module, and it will narrow down to just that text, and you can add that module. And that's your basic text, nothing too fancy. But you just want to display a chunk of text box on your website. The other kind of text that you may be displaying is what I was talking about earlier, where I have a heading 1, a heading 2, a heading 3, and I had labeled that one a heading 2. The structure of your website, the hierarchy of your website, you would have a title of your page, you would have a heading 1, and then breaking it down in an outline form. You have different size of elements that or order of navigation, and you use your heading structure to do that. In addition, for displaying text, you can use an accordion module, a toggle module, or a tabs module. These modules are always of expanding and contracting larger amounts of text, so that somebody doesn't have to scroll so far down a web page. And I can show you a couple examples of that in a second. One of the more advanced, or two of the more advanced modules that come with again, this purple color indicates that it's part of the Divi Supreme Pro. There is the Supreme Content Timeline, or Supreme Step Flow. These are ways of, again, breaking up chunks of text and displaying them in a way that is informative to an audience. So let's look at a couple of examples here. Actually, we'll go to our favorite website, which is our training page. And I am going to click on this scheduled element training just because it happens to be here. These boxes here, this enabling scheduled element extension, is an example of an accordion, or sorry, of a toggle, excuse me, of a toggle box, where there's a large amount of text under here. When you click on the box, it expands and shows you the content inside. I do have some demonstration pages, so maybe I'll even just pull this up. The text and toggle. So a basic text module, you can put in a background color, you can add some heading, you can actually add a heading within a text box. And then the toggle box, again, is where you can open and close to display some information in a more condensed format. The accordion, maybe I'm going to reorganize these. An accordion usually has one, did I just freeze out? Oh. I just went away. Sorry. There we go. Okay, I think I'm back. I apologize for that. Let's keep going here. So I'm showing an accordion module where we have information that is usually one section is open, and then when you click on the next section, it will close the one above it, and then it will close the other ones. Again, is for displaying large amounts of text in a more condensed space. And finally, one more that's related to this is the tabs, which is actually on this one. If I jump down here, that's a jump link. Here's a couple different tabs module options. And there is an advanced tab module that comes with the Divi Supreme Pro. So again, you're displaying text in a more organized and managed way. A couple other text things I didn't leave in here. This testimonial example, it has just all it is a quote where you could add some information, or you could add a quote from somebody about something on your web page, and it just adds a little quotey icon and a place for some text. Okay. I'm not gonna, and we will do some more advanced information later. So then ways to display images is we have your basic image, which is what I was showing you with the Clark County Passport, their big banner. A gallery will display multiple images in a space. It's not animated, it doesn't move, it's simply a multiple images in one space. Oops, this is where I scroll and it doesn't work. Supreme Image Carousel does move. This is where, again, with the Divi Supreme Pro, you could have multiple images in a gallery, takes a smaller amount of space, and you can flip through those images. So it might be kind of neat to display images from a program, like if you had, you had a program, you're reporting out on it, and you have some things to share. You could display a bunch of images. The image accordion is similar, but it stacks the images, and kind of like the text accordion, you click on one and it'll highlight an image and hide the others. The before after slider image is kind of cool. This is very new with Divi Supreme Pro. And let me see if I can find let's not sure if I had that one up here. I will find that for another day. I didn't bring it up to show, but it is neat because you can slide it back and forth and show how an image or how something has changed. Back to our presentation. So then when we get into more complex, this is where Divi starts to shine, is really doing things that are combined. So if you want to display image and text in a single module and not have to try to get a text box to align with an image box, this is where Divi gives you a bunch of tools. The blog is what a lot of you use, where you update a post, and that goes and you can put in a featured image in that space. You can add text, and that becomes something that displays with text and an image in a blog post. The post slider is what many people have on their homepage, where you've updated a post and it goes in there, and now you're rotating through several of those images plus text modules in a post slider. A regular slider, you don't use the WordPress post functionality, but you do the slider within Divi itself. It's a little more manual of a process, but in some cases it does work better for displaying information. And the blurb, I really want to talk about blurbs because we're using them pretty heavily across a lot of websites. A blurb displays heading text, it displays regular text, and it displays an image all in one space. And then when you add a link, it becomes a button. And this is what we were doing some more training on. So a blurb module, you can use a blurb module just as a heading text. Oh, that's misspelled. A blurb module contains a small amount of text with a title. A blurb module with a link becomes a clickable button, but we need to add that custom attributes that we were talking about a second ago, and we've done a training on. This is a blurb module with an image, and this is a blurb module with an icon. So again, a blurb combines heading text, title text, with regular text and an image. If you are on almost any library website and you see something like this, this is a blurb module. It has a little bit of animation to it. The only thing that's really different about it has some animation, and it does have a link to it, but it has an image, it has title text, and it has some regular text. if I was going to promote using any kind of module, practicing with using a kind of module or editing a module on your website, I would be looking at the blurb module. It probably has the most functionality. You do not have to have a title text. You can just have an image plus regular text. You do not have to have any of these elements. You can have just one of the three. You can have two of the three. You can have three of the three. I would just use blurb modules because they also allow us to add those custom attributes for website accessibility. So a blurb module will be something I would highly recommend practicing with. Then we're displaying other media. Through Divi, we are able to display videos, video and code and audio information. Back to examples would be on the training page. If I go back to scheduled elements, jump to video. Again, that's a jump link. I have the video of the recording of that training is embedded using a video module, just a regular Divi video module. And instead of uploading a video to your website, you put in the URL for the YouTube video. And it takes care of rendering it automatically. Code modules are very important to our websites. If I were to show you, let's see, on the Clark County Passport page, this has a map, a Google map. This is an embedded code module. And when I open it up here, I click on the gear icon and I see now I have my standard menu items, but I also have, instead of, it says text, but what it really is space for code. So I can drop in here iframe information and other short codes and things that look like gobbledygook. But what it does is it creates this map that automatically updates based on Google information. And you don't have to like program an image. It's interactive. It's interactive, and when a user clicks on it, they can zoom in, they can zoom out, they can go make it widescreen, and they can actually functionally use it as a Google map. It's one example of a code module. Then we have website navigation tools. We are pretty familiar with on websites with having buttons, having a search bar. And then in this one, we're going to do something that's a little different, which is the Supreme icon list. But the button is another thing that I would practice a lot with, because you're going to have these around on different websites. And basically what a button is literally a button that has some content. It has a linked content to it. So if I wanted to view online resources, I click that button and it brings us to this page. So practicing with the blurb module and the button module would probably get you 95% of the information that you're trying to put up on a design for a web page right there. The other navigation tool we were talking about was a search bar. You can add a search bar to your website. There is one down here on the WVLS website in the footer. And then on the training page, there's a search both right here. This is actually just part of a WordPress search. But if I go back home, right here is a search bar. This is a Divi module search bar. And you can change what it says in the search box. And you can customize your button to match the rest of your websites. The Supreme icon list is a Divi Supreme feature. It's, again, you have to have the Divi Supreme Pro installed, but it comes out and looks pretty nice in its final effect. It helps condense information down into small space. So let me go to technology, where I've used some of these in the tech tips. This is an example of the Supreme icon list. It's an organization, it's for displaying text, but it's actually for organizing links is probably the best way I could describe it. if you had a whole bunch of links, a whole list of things that you wanted displayed in small space, I would recommend using the Divi Supreme Pro. And the social media follow. This is when you have your Facebook links and or your Instagram links at the bottom of your page. This is how you would create that. And finally, for content organization, basically the divider, and when you get to Divi Supreme, you have the progress bar. Dividers are common across most websites. Right here is a very generic divider. It's just a way of cleaning up and organizing information visually. There's a divider down here in this footer. The progress bar is a little more challenging to set up, but it's kind of a neat thing. Let me find makerspace and equipment. If you have a web page with a lot of information and you aren't able to use a toggle, a toggle or an accordion or something to condense it, a progress bar allows you to scroll, and this one up at the top shows you how far you are through the web page. So you can tell it's a pretty long web page when I've been scrolling this much and I'm only a third of the way through it. And I keep scrolling, I keep scrolling, I keep scrolling. This page also has a jump to top, so I don't have to scroll all the way back up. I can click the jump to top as soon as I get going, which is another, it's not a Divi feature, but it is a nice handy navigation tool. So that's the basic Divi concept of how Divi is constructed. It is a modular setup. It is organizing itself horizontally and dividing up horizontally. Anything that is vertical is flowing itself down, and you're not going to see it on the backend builder, but you will see the general structure of the different modules. Again, I like using the admin label to help myself navigate on the back end. When I go to the front end and edit on the front end, I would not see this information, but I would see the content. So if I come back here and I build on the front end, now I see Abbotsford Public Library here, Colby Community Library, et cetera, as I scroll down. So that's our basic for a Divi 101. Everything else is going to be a little more involved in accessing and working with different modules, but knowing that there are some commonalities across sections, modules, rows, and modules as far as the menus, and then being able to identify which modules are going to be the most useful for you when you design a web page. Watch next week. Our training will be on how to make a page where you can come in and you can work with modules without having it public on your website. We'll clone a page and we'll get you set up where you can start practicing with some of these modules. Or just know that that's when you need, if you need to come in and you need to edit, start May 1st through August 31st, 2024, and you only need to edit this much, you know that you can come into the Enable Visual Builder. You can find this module, wait for it to load, click on the gear icon, and edit the content in this text box, and then save it and upload it. And then you don't have to make those other changes to your website, or you don't have to make any changes to the structure. You can make just changes to the content of your website. So that's what I have for you today. Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and that way you can ask questions.